Scheherazade's Tale of the Cursed Merchant and the Sultan's Secret. In the grand halls of the Sultan's palace, under the golden domes and upon cushions fragrant with spices, the king sat impatiently, his eyes narrowing at Scheherazade. The night stretched long and mysterious, and as the moon hung low in the sky, Scheherazade, ever poised and graceful, began her tale in a voice as smooth as honey and as sharp as a blade. She knew the art of storytelling was more than just weaving words. It was about forging connections between hearts and minds. Tonight, my lord, I will tell you of a tale as old as the desert sands, of a merchant who sought strength and power but found instead that it is not force but wisdom that commands respect and loyalty. Listen carefully, for this tale carries the winds of transformation. In a kingdom not far from here, there lived a merchant named Zafir, known across the land for his strength and wealth. He was a man of iron resolve, admired by his peers and envied by rivals. Yet his success, which bloomed like a rose in the desert, was built on shadows. For Zafir, though strong, was a man deeply wounded. His heart, once as pure as the spring waters, had become poisoned with the belief that to be a man was to dominate, to wield power over women, over servants, over anyone who dared cross his path. His wife Layla, a woman of beauty and grace, bore the brunt of his cruel pride. Now, Zafir was no fool. He knew that in the eyes of his fellow men, he was a titan. But deep inside, there was a gnawing emptiness that he could not fill with gold, jewels, or a harem of women. In his bed, his nights were restless, for he found no satisfaction in the sweet embraces of his many lovers.
One fateful night, as the stars danced in the heavens above, Zafir's frustrations led him to act in anger. He raised his hand against Layla, the woman who had once shared in his dreams and ambitions. His fist was strong, but when it met her, something inside him shattered. In that moment, Layla did not cry, nor did she recoil. Instead, with a quiet dignity, she turned her gaze toward him. You will never be truly strong, Zafir, not until you learn that power is not in your fists, but in your heart. You will never have true peace until you respect the woman beside you, for she is not your servant, but your partner. Her words, like a gentle wind, cut through the dust of his pride. He laughed, of course, as any man might, brushing off her words. But the next morning he found himself at the edge of a great desert, standing before a wise hermit who had long ago renounced the ways of men.
Master, Zafir called, I seek wisdom. My strength is unmatched, yet I am empty. My women, my wealth, none of it brings me peace. The hermit looked him up and down, his gaze sharp as a sword. You are a man who mistakes force for strength, Zafir. You hold a whip, but cannot see the beauty of a song. You boast of the number of women you possess, but can you hear their voices beneath your pride? Zafir frowned, ready to dismiss the old man, but the hermit continued. Let me tell you a tale, young merchant. Once, there was a mighty lion, feared by all. He ruled the plains with his claws and teeth, striking down those who opposed him. But when the lion grew old, his strength faltered. He could no longer hunt as he once had, and the animals in the forest began to whisper of his weakness. One day, a clever fox approached the lion and said, You do not need to fight, my king. You do not need to show your strength with your claws. Let us show you how to command respect without violence. And so, the lion listened. The fox taught him to use his wisdom to lead, his voice to guide, and his presence to inspire. The lion did not need to roar anymore, for his reputation preceded him, and his kingdom followed him out of respect, not fear. Zafir's eyes widened, his pride wounded by the hermit's words. You have been a lion, Zafir, the hermit continued, but now you must be a king, wise, fair, and gentle with those you love. True power, my son, comes from your ability to lift others, not crush them. The journey back to his kingdom was long, and as Zafir rode through the endless desert, his mind swirled with thoughts of the hermit's words. By the time he returned to Layla, he was a changed man, though not without struggle. His pride still burned within him, but now he sought a different kind of strength.
Scheherazade paused, letting the silence linger in the air like the soft scent of jasmine. My lord, she said, her eyes gleaming with a quiet wisdom, the tale of Zafir is one of change, of growth. A man may seek power in many forms, but the greatest strength is not in his fists or his gold. True strength lies in the ability to lift up those around him, to listen, and to respect the woman who stands by his side. The king shifted uncomfortably on his throne, his fingers tapping on the armrest. Scheherazade had spoken more plainly than he had expected, and the words seemed to gnaw at him, though he would never admit it aloud. "Is there more, my dear Scheherazade?" the king asked, his voice betraying no emotion. "Ah, my lord, there is always more," Scheherazade replied, a smile playing on her lips. "But for now, let this tale settle in your heart, as the seeds of wisdom settle into fertile soil." And so, with the flickering flame of the night ahead, the story of Zephyr hung in the air, leaving the king to ponder the true meaning of strength and the power of respect.